Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss about different experiments related to the osmosis. Different experiments related to the osmosis. Okay. I said that osmosis means water movement from high potential region to low potential region, ORR, low concentrated region to high concentrated region. Low concentrated region means water is very more, that's why solute is very less. So solute, if solute is less, concentration is less. If solute is more, concentration is more. Okay, so solute is less, water, that means solvent is more, so water potential is more. Okay, interlinked. Okay, solute more, concentration also more, then water potential is less. This is case 1. Okay, students, carefully listen. In case of case 2, solute number is low, concentration also low, and water potential is more. These are equal, it is opposite. Okay. Now we are going, in yesterday class we discussed about exosmosis and endosmosis based upon the experiment of potato. Now I would like to explain about Kismis experiment. Kismis, it is a dried fruit. Okay, that is Kismis. Now case 1, in case of case 1, take a dried kismis and placed in a water beaker. This is nothing but water and place dried kismis it is dried kismis here. Now in the case 2, take sugar solution, So after completion of case 1, take this kismis from the step 1 and place that kismis in the step 2. So in this case we want to observe first step 1. Now after 1 hour or 2 hours, what will happen here? The dried kismis present in the water becomes swollen kismis, Okay, this is dried kismis. So why it becomes swollen here, students? Due to the absorption of water. Why water is absorbed here? Due to osmosis. I said that water movement always from high potential area to the low potential area. It is correct? So I taken here as a water having high potential. In case of dried kismis, there is no water present. So in case of dried kismis, water potential is very low. So water must come into the kismis, into the kismis, into the kismis. So the kismis can take that water and becomes swollen and becomes swollen and becomes swollen. Now take this swollen kismis and keep this swollen kismis in the sugar solution in next step. In the first step we take water, in the second step we take sugar solution. Okay, sugar solution. Now keep this swollen kismis, keep this swollen kismis inside the sugar solution, and it is also leave for 1.5 hours or 2 hours, 1.5 hours or 2 hours. What will happen? This swollen kismis, this swollen kismis becomes again shrink. It becomes again shrink. Okay, shrink means, okay, like that. It becomes shrink. Why it takes place? Because the water present inside the swollen kismis is having high water potential, but the sugar solution having low water potential. Okay, next thing we can also say that sugar solution having high concentration, because sugar is present. Sugar solution is having high concentration, but the swollen kismis having low concentration. It having low concentration. That's why water present in the swollen kismis is loosed into outside. That's why this swollen kismis becomes shrink. This swollen kismis become shrink like that manner. Okay. So here also we conclude that this step belongs to endosmosis. This step belongs to endosmosis. This step belongs to endosmosis. This step belongs to exosmosis. Okay, in case of exosmosis, water coming from towards outside from the cell. Which cell? Kismis. Inside the kismis also cells are present. Inside the human body also cells are present. Inside the potato also cells are present. Inside any living organism having cells. Okay, so the water movement from inside to the outside takes place here, that is called as osmosis. Here the water movement from outer side to the inside takes place here, so this is called as endosmosis. Is it clear, students? This is about kismis experiment. Then we are going to discuss about another experiment about osmosis by taking de-shelled eggs. Okay, de-shelled egg means de-shelled egg. What is meant by de-shelled egg? De-shelled egg is the egg having shell. Okay, hard shell. This shell is composed with CaCO3, calcium carbonate. CaCO3 is called as calcium carbonate here. Calcium carbonate. This cell is composed of calcium carbonate. So inside the cell, liquid component, that is egg white and egg fat also present. Yellow colored and white colored material is present inside the shell. Okay, now this egg is soaked in. Soaked means నానబెట్టడం. Okay, soaked. This egg is now soaked in dilute HCl solution. This is called as dilute HCl. HCl means hydrochloric acid. Now this shell having egg is placed in the dilute HCl. HCl means hydrochloric acid. Then what will happen after 4 to 5 hours? Okay, it is leave it for 4 to 5 hours. What will happen? The shell present on the surface of the egg, that is made up of with the CaCO3. CaCO3 means calcium carbonate, is dissolved or soluble in the external dilute HCl. So the shell is dissolved, then what happened? The inner content will remain. That means if you observe egg after boiling, the egg having a layer. After removal of the shell, you can observe that a layer is present. Inside that white color region is present, inside that yellow color region is present. Okay, this layer now, okay, we can observe here. After removal of the shell by dissolving the CuCO3 in the dilute HCl, what will happen? Only the layer along with the white egg and yellow egg is present. Now here we taken two raw eggs and do the same experiment like that. Okay, now we are getting two eggs. With D-shell condition. D-shelled eggs. Both are D-shelled eggs. D-shelled eggs means the eggs without the shell but having outermost layer of egg. Inside it white color content and yellow color content is present as usually. Now take one egg cell and keep this in water. Take this egg, keep this in water, and in the second step keep this in salt solution. Okay, this is the salt solution. Keep the second egg in the salt solution. Leave it for 2 to 3 hours. What will you observe after 2 to 3 hours? In the first case, you can observe that the egg placed in the H2O, becomes swollen. Why? Because the water present outside region will enters into the egg through which layer? Egg layer. Through the egg layer, water can enter into the egg. That's why the egg becomes swollen. Now, in the second case, you can observe that the egg becomes shrink. Okay, Why it takes place? Because salt solution having concentration more and water potential is less. Am I correct? Now the egg, the water present inside the egg having high potential and low concentration. So the water present inside the egg will come outside. Then what will happen? If the water present inside the egg lost, what will happen? The egg becomes shrink. It seems like that. So here also we can say that in this case endosmosis takes place. In this case endosmosis takes place here. Endosmosis taken place. That means water is moves into the egg cell. Egg. Okay. Here water is removed from the egg. That's why this type of osmosis is called as exosmosis. Exosmosis. Is it clear, students? This is about eggs experiment. Then preparing a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Okay, I said that plasma membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. All the animal cells outermost layer having as plasma membrane or semi-permeable membrane. So if you take egg, the outermost layer nothing but plasma membrane. Is it correct? So after deshelling, what will happen? The layer along with the inner content will come outside. How we can deshell a egg? By keep this egg in dilute HCl. Again, this is okay. Preparation of heading. Preparation of plasma membrane. No. Semi-permeable membrane. Preparation of semi-permeable membrane. Okay. In the last experiment, we observed that osmosis takes place in the egg cells. But here, preparing a semi-permeable membrane, it is if it is acts as a semi-permeable membrane or not, we have to observe it. Okay, we have to observe it. So take a shell having egg and keep this in dilute HCl. After some time, the eggshell is dissolved in dilute HCl. It will become deshelled egg. So after deshelling, the egg having inner side white content and innermost content fat content. Now what will you do here is by making a small hole with a pin or needle. With a safety pin or needle and drain all the inner contents into outside and drain the inner contents of the egg. and drain the inner contents of the egg. Now what will happen after draining, after removing of inner content of the egg? Okay, it is not boiled egg, so it is, the inner content is in which state? Liquid state only. Okay, it having liquid state only. After boiling it maybe becomes the solid state. Okay, it is not a boiled egg, students. Okay, it is just deshelled egg. So the inner content is in liquid state only. Is in liquid state only. So it is easy to remove by making a hole on the surface of the layer. Now the liquid content present inner side is drained off and the layer becomes like that, having a hole on the upper side or any other side. Okay, it is a drained off layer, egg layer. Now this egg layer acts as semi-permeable membrane or not, I would like to discuss here. Okay, by taking this egg layer, it is allowed to osmosis process. If it can do the osmosis, it is a semi-permeable membrane. If it cannot do any osmosis process, it is not considered as a semi-permeable membrane. So now we want to check that is the membrane is semi-permeable or not. Are you following me, students? Okay, just concentrate. Now in the first step, we have to take dish, that means membrane, egg membrane. Take egg membrane and it is filled with saturated sugar solution, students, sugar solution, students. That means the egg layer is now filled with a saturated sugar solution. Then what will happen? The egg layer becomes swollen like that, having a pore at the top. Now you carefully tie the mouth of the egg layer with a thread. Inside the egg layer, what is present? Saturated sugar solution. Is it clear? So now this saturated sugar containing egg membrane, keep it in water containing beaker. So in this step, take a water beaker. This is the water. Now keep this saturated sugar solution containing egg membrane as like that. Inside it saturated sugar solution is present. Okay, this is one case, student. In the second case, you have to take same egg layer by removing the inner content of the egg layer, and it is filled with water. And here also the mouth of the hole will seal. Now keep this water containing the egg layer inside beaker having the sugar solution, having the sugar solution. This is sugar, this is sugar solution. Okay. Now keep this with sorry. Okay, outside is sugar solution, inner side is water. Inner side is water. In first case, outside is water and inner side is sugar. Inner side is sugar. In second step, outer side is sugar solution and inner side is water. Here, if it is really a semi-permeable membrane, what will happen? Osmosis must occur. Osmosis must occur. So, we have to observe it. We just leave that experiment for 2 hours. Leave that experiment for 2 hours. In the both cases, these 2 experiments leave that for 2 hours. After 2 hours, what will you observe? That the water present outside the egg layer enters into the layer and the egg layer becomes more swollen. The egg layer becomes more swollen. Why? Because due to entering of water along with the sugar solution. Okay, due to entering of water, the eggshell becomes more swollen, more swollen or more bulged. Okay, in this case, the water present inside the egg layer comes to outside, and the egg layer becomes shrink. The egg layer becomes shrink. What will happen here? Okay, the water present inside the egg layer comes outside. Here the water present outside comes inside. So from this experiment we can conclude that here also osmosis takes place. Here endoosmosis takes place. Here endosmosis takes place. Here endosmosis taken place. Okay, here exosmosis taken place. That's why the water is moving from high potential area to the low potential area. So from this case we can conclude that egg membrane acts as a semi-permeable membrane. Egg membrane acts as a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, from this experiment we can say that animal cell having outermost layer, it is plasma membrane. That's why this layer acts as a osmosis membrane or selective permeable membrane. So selective permeability is characteristic feature of plasma membrane. So egg belongs to animal body. So the animal cell having outermost layer is plasma membrane. Then I want to discuss about reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. Okay. Reverse osmosis means the water movement is reversed. Okay, in naturally water movement from high potential area to the low potential area or low concentrated area to the high concentrated area. Okay, it is occurs naturally, but reverse osmosis occurs artificially by applying some pressure from the external factors. The water movement by applying pressure, the water movement can takes place from low potential area to high potential area low potential area to high potential area. Okay, this definition is we are also written as the water movement from high concentrated area to the low concentrated area Okay, this reverse osmosis we can observe in which conditions? In the purification of seawater. We can apply this mechanism. Actually, seawater is in salty nature. Am I correct? Seawater is in salty nature. So, to make this salty water into drinking water or fresh water, we applying a method called as reverse osmosis. By applying a great pressure, we can forcibly move the water present in the high concentrated area or low water potential area to high water potential area and low concentrated area. So, salt remains here and water only can move from low potential area to the high potential area. Is it clear? Fresh water always having high potential area, but naturally water moves from this area to this area. But in case of seawater purification, to make the salt water into the drinking water purpose, so we following reverse osmosis mechanism by applying a great pressure to remove the salt present in the water. We can move the water from high concentrated area to the low concentrated area. This is called as reverse osmosis. Okay, got my point, students? Then filtration. Okay, filtration. What is meant by filtration here? Filtration is separating of undissolved particles from a solution. It is called as filtration, students. It is called as filtration. For example, you can take example of, let us consider an example of tea. okay, with the decoction, okay, decoction, okay, this decoction having solute particles, this tea having milk, so that is solvent. So here the undissolved decoction particles are remains in the filtrate, so by using filtrate, here these decoction particles are there and the dissolved solution particles along with the solvent particles will collected into the cup, and it we can taken as a tea for drinking mechanism. Okay, in that case another example we can take, take paste of rice and it is dissolved in water. Now to this solution you have to add iodine solution. What will happen, students? The solution becomes blue or black. Now by taking a filtrate in a funnel, here it is a filtrate paper is there. Now filter this solution. What will you collected in the beaker? The solution having only dissolved particles. Both solute and the solvent are dissolved here, and the undissolved particles are remains in the filtrate paper. This is called as filtration mechanism. Okay, it is up to here our chapter is concluded. Thank you, students.